Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your Evel Shorty, and we're going to go back to something a bit more traditional for our review thing. This one with an Iron Man, issue 1. I don't know what a few of you are thinking, after I got all excited about being able to do some DC stuff where they've carried on the numbering, and this is just another Iron Man issue 1. Intellectual property's been going for a very long time, but now they've got a new creative team, and I'm probably just going to be like, oh, this is going through the motions, but I'm going to stop you right there. There's a few reasons why I'm a bit more excited about this one. Number one, there is, yes, a brand new creative team, but the main person we're going to be talking about here is Spencer Ackerman, who's actually a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, and I kind of like the idea of having somebody like that coming and telling a story. I've done stuff in the past where I've talked about this idea that people who are not comic book writers coming into the comic world can set some people off, but I think the kind of people who'd be really annoyed for some reason that Patton Oswalt decided to create an entire superhero universe with over multiple stories and multiple creatives would be absolutely fine with a Guardian writing journalist doing a comic book about Iron Man. I don't know exactly why those things are different for some people, but they clearly are. In my case, though, I just like other people coming in. I've also enjoyed like John Ridley and Ta-Nehisi Coates and the person who wrote Far Sector, N.K. Jemisin, whose name escaped me for a second there. But you absolutely should check out Far Sector. It's one of the best things I've ever read. Like, go and read stuff by other people who aren't just in the comics bubble. I think it's well worth doing. In this particular case, I was flicking through and I started feeling a little bit like maybe I have gone into a certain thing I'm not too sure of here, because it's very much an in-house style when it comes to art and colouring, and I said before that's not my go-to kind of thing. But quite quickly realised that although I have a few little gripes, overall it's great. Some of my gripes are kind of easy to like just hand wave away though. Like, I don't particularly like that Tony Stark's Iron Man armor sometimes hangs off him like clothes, and it moves in the way that clothes would move with the body rather than armor would. But because we've moved like to a nanite kind of technology thing, it does make a little bit more sense, but it makes it look even more like computer generated than having computer generated colours usually would anyway. But you kind of flick your switch in your head and go, yeah, that's absolutely fine, that's how it should work, just enjoy it, Shorty, shut up. And it is really good artwork throughout. I can't really complain about any of the artwork, and some of it is fantastic. There's some really nice, just down, low-key kind of stuff. Tony recovering from an injury. But by the way, Tony Stark falling from a great height while wearing his armour is still going to put him in traction for all those writers who claim that wouldn't happen. Yes, it would. The armour doesn't actually protect from that kind of injury. He is still falling to the earth and he's going to be very, very badly hurt. So, well done straight away for the writing there. Tick. But you also get like boardroom shots, and then when we get to see the new Ironmonger, and they give it a full double-page splash, and it looks spectacular. They're kind of over-the-top, big graphic art stuff that Marvel is fantastic at doing, and that's why their in-house style can work really effectively for that kind of storytelling. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm looking forward to, as the cover art shows, the slightly more lo-fi, downbeat-looking armour that we're going to get. But that's part of the plot that we get to the end of here. At the end of the issue, we see where that's going to be going, like the fighting the Stark Rocks on War, which is very much, this is part 1 of that. When it comes to the writing, there is a lot of stuff I do like about it as well. Not just some really cool ideas that are in there, like understanding how gravity and physics work, but also the timing and the pacing is really quite effective. When we get into the fights, they're handled really nicely. There's just enough room for some kind of quippy dialogue. And yes, there is quippy stuff in here. Not like quippy, light-hearted stuff. This is full on Tony Snark. I literally hate myself having said that, but it is very, very effective. If you like Tony in the tail end of his appearances in the Marvel movies, when he's a little bit more gruff and he's gone through a bit more stuff, but he's still got that snarky edge to him, you're going to like this. It's effective. It's laugh out loud funny on a couple of occasions without it actually being a comedy funny book, which is really quite cool. But there's also the fact that as a journalist, he's putting some politics style stuff in there. That's fine by me. I like this kind of thing. Your mileage may differ, but we do seem to be having this idea that we might be, like we did in Nightwing, looking at an ethical billionaire. I think Tony's a good thing to look at this lens through, because he's a lot harder to justify as being one of the good ones. I mean, even Batman, to a certain degree, can look at it and be like, yes, he has a lot of inherited wealth, but this wasn't inherited in his lifetime, his parents' lifetime, doing particularly terrible things. It's still problematic and still causes problems societally that much money is coalescing to the top. But in Tony Stark's case, literally an arms dealer, a very high-tech arms dealer, and he looks fantastic while he's doing it, but that is a lot harder to pass off as ethical. You can't really put him in the same thing as you put, say, like the Taylor Swifts of the world, for a variety of reasons. But I did like that it's worth talking about, and I feel like these are some plot threads that have been laid quite effectively that could see some really solid payoff, as well as all the other big over-the-top kind of stuff. There's also a really nice pro-union thing at the beginning, because that is a cool thing to do. It does show that Tony is going to be trying to do good things, but instantly the workers are distrustful of them, which is fine. Bosses and unions are on different levels. You should absolutely support your unions, though, except the police. Don't support those ones. But anyway, other unions, absolutely fine. And I think showing that these people are trying to do good for the vast majority of people, in spite of an awful lot of negative stuff going on for them, is a good thing that this writer has done. And he's done it in a very humanistic kind of way. All in all, I'm glad I added this to my pull list, and I can't wait to see the rest of this war. I'd say that's it for me for now. I might have one more thing to review, because there's another one of the Horizon Experiment thing that's dropped this week, and I've reviewed so many things I haven't got around to it yet, but I am looking forward to reading it. So keep an eye out. It may drop later on the weekend. Until I see you all again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.